Here's a quote for you, Caitlin, all right? Stupidity knows no bounds. That was a reaction from the MTA to this picture that surfaced of 3 kids with backpacks hanging off an Uptown Express train last week. Since then, we've seen even more displays of dangerous stunts involving the rails. In fact, a viewer sent us this video of a teenager hanging off a train earlier this week. And I mean, the whole time, the teenager, she's like bragging about it with a friend there.
Maybe that's what it's about. Yeah, the stunt is known as subway surfing or skylarking. And it's killed 2 people since 2013. It goes back decades, but is social media fueling that potentially deadly behavior? Dr. Jodi Gold, child psychologist, thank you for coming in and joining us. So is that the reason why? Is it social media that's sparking all this?
I think it's social media that's ramping it up. You have to talk about the teenage brain, supervision, and social media now.
Okay.
Right.
So you watch that video. I mean, I see that video, and to me, it just looks like insanity. But again, you're a doctor, so you probably see it a little deeper than I see it. What should we be, when we look at that video, what should we be thinking about?
Clearly, we should be thinking about teenagers that are unsupervised, being impulsive, doing dumb stuff. But the reason I think it's gotten worse is because of the pressure to be famous, to upload it to YouTube, and to go viral.
Okay, so how do you combat this pressure? If everybody wants to be a viral star, how do you convince them that's not a smart thing to do?
Well, you talk about digital footprint. Everyone wants to be famous, right? Everyone wants to have 1 million likes. Everyone wants to go viral. The question is, why do you want to be famous? Do you want to be notorious, or do you want to be famous for creating something or changing something? We have to talk about what makes you famous.
See, I think our society has blurred that line. Whereas you can be famous for a sex tape, and you can become a millionaire. You can be famous as an astronaut. You know what I mean? I think our society is kind of blurred where that line is.
And that's why we see kids doing absolutely crazy, impulsive stuff.
I mean, listen to some of the stats. I mean, listen to this. Between 1989 and 2011, 13 people were killed doing this, another 56 injured. 329 cases have been reported with 2 deaths since 2013. Do these kids think that this can't happen to them, that they can't die from this?
Yeah, pretty much so. So the deal is that between the ages of 15 and 19, you are 6 times more likely to die from injury than when you were 13 or 14. So part of being a teenager is that you're impulsive, you're vulnerable to peer pressure, and now you're vulnerable to social media. So I think that's why it's gotten worse. The truth is, kids have been doing dumb, impulsive stuff forever.
Sure.
You know, subway surfing's not new.
Right.
The only piece of this that's new is this idea that you can become famous for it. And I think that both parents and places and social media have more responsibility. I mean, personally, I think that YouTube shouldn't be posting videos of kids doing really dangerous stuff.
Okay. And as a parent who's watching this, because I have a sense, I'm going to just guess that the parents of the kids that we've shown hanging, you know, that the parents of these kids right here, they have no idea that their kids hanging off the train.
No.
They don't know that. So as a parent who's watching this, what should you take away from this segment?
All right, first of all, those parents weren't paying attention. There is a role for supervision. I mean, if you've tried in New York City to sign your kids up for after-school programs or camps, it can cost up to $1,000 a week. We have to create a place for teenagers. We're always talking about this with kids. Teenagers need a productive place after school in the summer to sort of channel this. There's all kinds of ways to channel this. If you want to do a crazy stunt, do the ice bucket challenge. The ice bucket challenge, these kids dump ice onto their head, and then they've, $21 million has been raised for ALS from the ice bucket challenge. It's an example of taking impulsive, silly behavior and combining it with the power of social media.
Wow. Are there any clues that parents can know about their kids to think that maybe they are doing something stupid? Or, you know, what should you look for as a parent?
Well, you should be paying attention to your child's digital footprint. You should, in your family, you should have to get permission to post onto YouTube. You don't have to get permission to look at YouTube, but if you're going to post a video on YouTube, you should have to get your parents' permission. And your parents should know about your digital footprint, because that's the piece that people are missing. We did stupid stuff, and no one knows about it. These kids do stupid stuff, and it's going to
ever. All right.
Pay attention to the digital footprint.
Dr. Gold, thanks so much for coming in. And yeah, you want to make sure you're following them on the social media and the Snapchat and everything else. All these things that we're just learning about, you got to make sure that you got to be like a detective. You got to be like on top of it because they're on it. So you want to make sure you know what they're doing.
That's true.
Yeah.